All right, Shane, here's probably going to be my favorite part of the show. Let's piss you off real quick. Let's go to Memphis beating Mississippi State 31-29. And, hey, I got lucky. I said if this thing gets into the 30s, I feel like Memphis is going to steal it. That 31 points exactly was all it took for the Tigers to win, and some help from the officials, no doubt. But, I know that's going to be the big talking point, and it should be, because Mississippi State got screwed on multiple occasions. I'm sure we'll get to the punt, all that. But I thought even the most egregious was I have never in my life have I seen an instant replay of, an onside kick or any play, and then they go to the review booth, and then they come out and say, well, hell, we found a penalty on something else. I mean, I don't know if that's in the rule book. I don't believe it is, but man, what a calamity of errors. And the SEC even had to issue a statement here. We'll throw it up on the YouTube channel, but multiple missed calls on the big punt that really changed the outcome of the game.
Absolutely, Mike. And I made the mistake of doing a double lockdown, but I'm telling you, Mike, this is a game. This is a game that shouldn't come down to those stupid penalties. Mississippi State blew this thing. Mm-hmm. Forget the downed punt. And if you didn't watch it or you didn't see any highlights, quick recap. Mississippi State punts the ball. Memphis is back there to receive. Now, Memphis has a receiver wearing the number 4. Mm-hmm. There's also another player on the field wearing the number 4, which is illegal, which is a penalty, a 5-yard penalty, and it results in I don't know. It would have been a re-kick. Doesn't matter. Yeah, would have been a re-kick. Okay, so needless to say, the guy goes back there, puts his knee on the ground, his hand on the football, and downs the ball. A ref comes in and whistles the ball dead.
Well, there was no whistle.
Okay. In the process, his hands are up to make the dead ball symbol. Needless to say, number 4 comes in there, grabs the football, takes off, wins a punt, gets a punt, return for a touchdown. It broke their back, man. It couldn't be at a worse time, and they ended up winning this game. And they didn't review it. And then when you're watching the review, there's like 16 people on the field. There's players coming out from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? The mascot's out there smoking a cigarette, and everybody's just like, hey, everything's okay, It's like, what are we doing? This is a huge play. This changes the game, and we're not going to take a moment to see if it was legit, because later in the game, they took a moment to see how they blocked an onside kick. So I don't know. This one right here, it stuck in my craw because part of me knows that Mississippi State is a better team, and not by close, Mike. We text through this whole thing. I was very impressed at moments of how just dominant they were, but they just kept letting Memphis get back in it. They're making stupid decisions when they get inside the 20-yard line. You cannot make mistakes like that, and it came back and bit them.
Yeah, and then we haven't even mentioned the first score of the game. Mississippi State fumbled a ball. Memphis returned it for a touchdown, a scoop and score touchdown. So, I mean, there was these huge defining plays in the game, and a lot of it unforced. I mean, I agree with everything you said about the punt return, and it was a bullshit call that should not have been. But there's also other Mississippi State players just standing there. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily totally on them, but these are just Mississippi State's a young team, and they need to be more consistent, and they need to play to the whistle. And it's not just the special teams; it's the offense, man. It seems like until they get in a big hole, they don't kick their ass into gear, and the stats look good because they're throwing it all over the yard. But we're just lacking consistency here, and it almost cost them against Louisiana Tech, and now it finally bit them in the ass here, and it's just it's a momentum killer heading into SEC play next week against LSU.
And why? Why is it when Mississippi State gets their back against the wall, the air raid kicks in? And you're like, that's the offense I was promised. This is the quarterback. This is the receivers that I was promised when the Pirate came in here. It's like they wait to the very – I don't understand the conservative play calling at times. It feels like they're almost afraid to cut loose. When they do cut loose, man, effective, they're efficient, and they look good. Does the quarterback make a mistake every now and then? Absolutely, but at least he's taking chances, and this defense can keep them in any game. And they tried like hell to keep them in this one, but they kept messing up. The offense kept screwing up. That's all it was. It came down to efficiency, and Mississippi State just could not capitalize when they needed to.
What was the explanation you had on the punt return?
On what?
On the punt return, they called illegal touching and they ran back for the touchdown.
Well, I mean, the ball's live. Just because you touch it, usually they whistle it, you know.
But
we got to pick it up and hand it to the ref.
The ref was motioning for the play was dead. Did they give you any kind of explanation for that?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
I know.
Did they call the play dead?
The guy right behind the play was motioning the play. I don't know if he whistled, but he was motioning for it.
So he did call the play dead.
Mm-hmm.
You waved it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to look at that on film, and maybe some others will too.
But on that onside kick, when they went for the review and then called the penalty after looking at the review, has that ever happened to you before? What was your kind of assessment on that?
On what now?
The onside kick where they went back to review it and then they reviewed it and it was a successful one, but then they called a penalty on your guys. Has that ever happened to you in the past?
Don't even get me started. I mean, I'll have to decide whether I want to spend some money before I get into that very much. But I think that you need to look carefully at it and make your own judgment.
You get the big pick right at the beginning of the second half, and you get down there close. And I know you don't like to kick there, and I know the touchdown probably puts the game away. But kind of take us through your thought process there, going forward rather than kicking the field goal.
I thought we could get it. Still believe we would have got it, except we just roll the snap back. How the hell you roll a snap back? You know, I mean, we've had. Let's see how many plays we had. We had 83 plays, and of those we had 82 good snaps. I don't know why the hell we wouldn't have a good snap on that one, you know?
You've obviously been doing this for a while, and I'm sure there have been a bunch of tough losses along the way like this one. What do you kind of tell your guys in the locker room after that to kind of boost morale?
I always try to be really honest with them, and, you know, I'm not necessarily 100%. It depends. I mean, sometimes you try to boost morale. Sometimes morale doesn't need to be boosted. You need to boost something, but it's not always morale that needs to be boosted. And between now and tomorrow, I'm going to figure out what it is that needs to be boosted. And whether I'm right or not, we're going to boost something.